What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new video. Thank you for all the support on the recent videos. And if you're enjoying the content and you still would like to see some more, make sure to subscribe so you guys are always up to date. And leave a like on the video, a comment as well would be really appreciated. I love to see what you guys think about these videos. And also you can leave a comment below on a topic you'd like to see me cover in the future. Something you're passionate about and you'd like me to talk about on the channel, hear my opinions, hear my views on that, and we can discuss in the comment section further. But jumping into today's video, I've got an interesting topic today, actually. And this came about when I was listening to some music, as one does, you know. And I was listening to some of Kanye West's old music, and I like a few of his songs. I'm not like the biggest Kanye fan or anything, but I like a few of his songs. Some of them really stick to me, and I enjoy what he's saying in the songs and the feeling I get when I'm hearing the songs, you know. And this brought me to today's video. Obviously, you know, he's been in the news a lot recently, or in the past as well, I should say, for a lot of different things, you know, different behaviors and situations that he's caused and posted and stuff that he said recently. So people are watching all this unfold and break down. And people are wondering, like, what's going on with his behavior? What's going on with the situation? You know, there's a lot of different stuff that I'm not going to get into on this video. I'm trying to keep it to the music, but I'm making a point here to show what this topic of the video is, where how far can we basically separate the artist, right, from their music or their creations. Because like I said, I was listening to a few of his older songs, you know, and I really enjoy them. But like, if you tell a person now, I've been listening to like some Kanye West or something, blah, 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 then they might associate with the way he is now. And like a lot of things he said, especially regarding like his Twitter posts and stuff, I'll throw a few up on screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Like that, it really takes down the music and the stuff that he's put up, because people always associate him with his current behavior. And I feel like it's difficult to talk about certain celebrities in certain times, you know, because their music, or I would say the artists, let's stick with artists right now, their music that they put out years ago is how they were back then, you know. They were a certain person back then, and the music represents that era of how they were back then, you know. And currently he's a different person, and he's got different views, and he's completely different compared to how he was in like 2010 or 2015 even. And like it shows in the music as well. Like, I don't listen to any of his recent stuff, but some of the musics that I listen to from him it's really good music. And a lot of people will argue that he is one of the best artists, I will not say rappers maybe, but like musicians and artists there's ever been, you know. And like certain conversations and things like that around the music and around the person, how far can you separate before you say, no, I think I don't agree with listening to his music anymore because of how he is today. And I know some people that will stop listening to artist music if something comes out of them in the news, or they find out something about this artist that they don't agree with. Certain things like that, like with the Travis Scott, like Astroworld thing that happened, the whole the baby thing on that he had at his concert. Certain things like that, people will just like stop completely. And I mean, I understand that the person making the music, like the artist, right, they are basically using their own creativity and parts of them to create the song, you know. This is how they see certain things. This is where they are in life or with something, and then they write about it. But as the years go on, you know, they don't stay that same person most of the time. They change and evolve over the years. And sometimes you like a certain song that's from like 10 years ago, and that person's not even the same way. So, I mean, it's difficult, in my opinion, to like separate it completely, because I can understand if a person doesn't want to listen to an artist anymore because they found out they did certain things, or the artist is like questionable as a person. So it is difficult to separate it, because I don't think you can fully separate it, because when you create something, you are creating something that's of you, you know, like you are the one who made this. So you certainly have had some influence in the creation process, you know, how you thought about making the song, how to make it sound and everything like that, the lyrics and the production, and the content of the song, basically. And I think that's what a lot of people are talking about with a lot of artists. But for me, the Kanye West thing is like the most spot on one for me currently, because like every time I listen to a song, then I'm thinking about like the song, and I'm like, oh my word, it's such a great song, everything like that. and then like you just hear about him in the media and everything like that. But I will never discredit a piece of art, like especially we're sticking to music right now. I will never just completely dismiss it because of how things are with the person nowadays. You know, we never know what happens in people's lives, where people are. We don't know any of these. Well, at least I don't. We don't know any of these like musicians personally, so we can't say what's going on in their life, who they are, what are they like. We're just seeing things from like a third person view. You know, we're not in their lives specifically, and I think that for me is like something that I've been thinking about recently, like regarding music and regarding keeping the artist and the music separate, basically. And for me, how far we can really separate it, to be honest, I don't know. You know, I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comment section, because the art, at the end of the day, like the music, stands alone in its own category, even once the person has gone on. But the person also creates a legacy as they develop as an artist, as they make more music, and as they live and as their personal life gets bigger and bigger and bigger. They're in the news more, certain things come out of them, and the public opinion sometimes sways one way or another. Like, same thing with Michael Jackson, for example. He's still a legendary status artist, you know, regardless of all the things that come up. But a lot of people, once those things came out, you know, once those things came out, then they decided, and maybe a few people swayed and said, "Oh my word, I'm not listening to this. I can't believe this is the same guy that made this music." Blah 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 blah. But that's a whole other topic. I'm not getting into that. I'm just staying with like on focus about separating the artist from the art or the music, basically. That's gonna be all for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and leave a comment below on what you guys think about this topic and what you guys think about separating artists from their music. I feel like it's a very open question, you know, like how far can you really separate it? And like the points that I mentioned in the video, what do you guys think? What is your ideas, and what is your train of thought that you guys have when you encounter something like this, you know? But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see everybody in the next one.